Welcome to the Problematic Gaze with me, Dr. Lee Arnott.
And me, Dave Moore.
Each episode we take a piece of pop culture from yesteryear and ask ourselves the question, could he get away with it today? And if not, why not? And what does that say about society and culture then and now?
That was very good.
I know.
I know.
Well, on fire.
It's a fact to follow. I've got a sweaty top lip already.
Go on, try your best. I'm not judging.
And before we take a deep dive into our chosen topic, we'll look at the news events of the day, and we'll also look at the TV landscape and pop charts, just to put our chosen topic and year into context.
Very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
One take wonder, as we say in the biz.
70 episodes now. We've got it. We've got it, haven't we? We've got it. Yeah. Might as well just finish up and go home now, darling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We are having another Problematic Gaze coffee morning, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Yes. So, thank you, Mel, for the mug.
And this is obviously part of our official merchandise range. Can be yours for $49.99. Just send a cheque or a postal order to PG Towers in the countryside. They know where we are.
Postage and packing, £79.
Yes, so it's about how much? £110. But it's worth it because it's the finest bone china.
We haven't got a merch store yet, but give it time. Right, that's wobbling my camera.
Sorry,
what are you doing to it?
I've just touched it with my foot.
You're trying to sabotage me already, aren't you? Not only are you content with putting me in soft focus most of the time.
We're going to have badges and pens and T-shirts and possibly Lego figures.
Should I do it with removable Trevor McDonald specs?
Yes, that's great. And the flawless skin of your youth.
Well,
compared
before
to mine.
I put the bloody concealer on.
Yeah, well.
A massive sit on my chin.
Yeah.
Just highlighted it now to everybody.
Yes, you have. But the lines on your face are incredible, actually.
Do you think?
Yeah, well, they do. I mean, incredible in then they don't appear. And I do think it speaks volumes that one of us has been happily married for a good few years, or in a relationship, and one of us hasn't. One of us continues to kick the shit out of life. And I think it's showing in the lines on their face.
You've lived. They live lines.
Each one tells a story.
Yes, they do. All right, then.
Crashing on.
Let's crash on to talk about what we're going to talk about today.
Well, you're looking rather corporate today, Dave. Any particular reason?
Well, I've got a little corporate away day coming up. You know, the ones that we all love.
God.
We all love to sit there in a semicircle, tell us an interesting fact about yourself, and then you just kind of turn inwards and think, don't pick me first.
We're going to go around the circle, and I want you to tell us your name and something interesting, or 3 facts about yourself.
And then we're going to do some role play.
Yes, and then we're going to go outside and build a raft out of oil cans and planks of wood.
Oh my God, it just makes my buttocks clench.
Yes, me too. Because today we are going for a day in the office.
Yes.
The popular UK sitcom from 2001, our episode is. It's episode 4 of season 1 called Training. Again, just the thought of a training day just fills me with PTSD. What's your relationship to The Office? Sorry, The Office.
Well, we all watched it, didn't we? It was a huge hit.
Yes.
In 2001. And then there were 2 Christmas specials, weren't there, that, you know, that just had the whole nation gripped. Will Dawn and Tim finally get together kind of thing. We all watched it because Ricky Gervais was so cringy.
Yeah.
If you actually worked in those environments, it was very apt, wasn't it? It's very revealing. It's not something I go back to, like the kind of Gavin and Stacey's, the Will and Grace's, or anything. If it's on, I don't really want to go back. And I think it's because it just makes you feel so uncomfortable.
Yes. It's not a warm comedy, is it?
No,
it's not a cosy.
Yeah. But I really loved it at the time, and it was really good to revisit it. I just watched it this morning in bed, and you were downstairs, my husband, weren't you?
Yes.
And you could just hear me guffawing upstairs, couldn't
yes,
you?
I could. Yes, I could.
What about you?
The same, I really enjoyed it at the time. I guess it was the first, we'll go into this, but the first kind of cringe comedy. And it was kind of groundbreaking, wasn't it? And it was just that whole, the ordinariness of it. And I enjoyed it, watched the Christmas specials, got invested in the characters, had forgotten quite what like a star-making show it was,
It really was.
But like you, had never rewatched it because it's not a cosy. I can't see myself putting it on like I would like a Good Life or...
Yeah,
you know,
or a Royal
even
Family kind of vibe.
Exactly.
You know, something, you know, comforting to watch.
Yes.
It's certainly not like a comfortable watch.
No, I mean, it revels in the uncomfortableness of it, doesn't it? But yeah, so we'll get into that.
We will.
So now we have already covered 2001 in our episodes on Bridget Jones' Diary and Friends. But should we cross over to the news desk for some more UK events of that year?
Let's do it. Here we are at the news desk.
At the
Trevor's
news
on.
desk.
Okay, so the Selby rail crash happens on the 28th of February when a car veers onto a railway line, causing a passenger train to collide into a freight train. It sounds like episode of Casualty list, doesn't it?
Yeah.
10 people lost their lives and 60 were injured, making it one of the worst rail disasters in recent UK history.
Yeah, there was a lot of train crashes around this time. And again, we could argue it's the result of privatising all the railways, because when the railways were privatised, rather than just privatise the whole lot, each company was privatised and the actual rail track itself was privatised as well. So you get a lot of safety concerns, there's a lot of incidents, a lot of train crashes at this point. I remember there was a joke doing the rounds in Europe, which was, how do you get an ambulance in the UK? And the punchline was something along the lines of, follow the train because it'll crash at some point. And that shows the international reputation, because it just seemed that there was... And is that what privatisation does to safety standards and standards in general? Yes. Water companies. We're looking at you.
Profits.
Yes. Profits.
Yes.
Over everything else. But yeah, dreadful tragedy.
Yeah.
Dreadful.
Oh, just before we go any further, we'll have to remember, as per last week, because the news events of the year in question was so horrendous, we did agree to put a nice fluffy news story at the end.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
But we'll have to make one up.
Oh, but we've got quite a fluffy one at the end.
Okay, cool.
Yes,
that's good. So it does get better. So stay with us. It's not all doom and gloom and death.
It's not a kitten up a tree, unfortunately, but it's near enough. Beginning in February, the United Kingdom foot and mouth outbreak originates from infected pigs in Essex. I don't know, if you put a load of animals together in cramped conditions to spread a disease, it's amazing. It's funny how it happens, isn't it? Over the following months, hundreds of thousands of livestock are culled, severely impacting rural economies. The final cases are concluded by September that year, with the UK declaring itself disease-free in January 2002. So nearly a whole year of this outbreak. Now, we have talked before about the burning carcasses in fields and just the horrifying images of it. It's just dreadful.
This was kind of like a sequel to, what was it called? Mad cow disease.
Yeah, yes. This is bloody nature's revenge, isn't it? I think that was bad. Here's everything.
Yes.
Going to get kicked off with it. Yeah. Dreadful.
Okay, so on the 7th of June, the Labour Party, led by Tony Blair, secured a second landslide victory, winning 413 seats, but voter turnout was down, the lowest since universal suffrage began, at 59.4%.
And will only continue to go down.
No, I was saying it's not even that now, is it?
No.
It's apathy.
It's apathy and just people disillusioned with politics. Yeah. A process that begins right back in the 60s, and continues ever thus. On the 1st of June, the Cardiff Bay Barrage opens. This major infrastructure transforms Cardiff Bay's tidal area into a vibrant waterfront destination and becomes an emblem of urban regeneration in Wales, and also, obviously, the location of Torchwood HQ.
Are they underground?
They're underground. I've been there, actually.
Have you?
Yeah, have you been to the Cardiff Bay?
I haven't. I've been to the Cardiff where they filmed Doctor Who. What's it called?
Oh, the Bad Wolf Studios.
But no,
Road Lock.
Road Lock. Been there because that's where Casualty was filmed as well.
Of course, yeah.
I went there for a little look around.
Right. The Bay's lovely. I've been a couple of times now. Yeah,
it's a nice city, Cardiff.
It's lovely. Yeah. And there's still an Ianto shrine for Torchwood. Still there. People are still going to lay flowers. And
Ianto being
a character in Torchwood who was killed in 2009.
Which was a spin-off of Doctor Who. Yes. I thought we have to kind of keep the audience.
Yeah, I don't want to say get over it, guys, but get over it, guys.
He was quite hot, Ianto,
he was
wasn't
quite
he?
hot, yeah, he was.
Not that we like objectifying people on the problematic gaze, but there you go. Okay, is it you or me?
It's you.
Okay, a series of racially charged disturbances erupted across the UK, particularly northern England. In June, in Burnley, there were violent clashes between white and Asian youths. In Bradford, rioting broke out, driven by tensions between far-right groups and local South Asian communities. And in Leeds, a riot occurred on the 5th of June, sparked by a police arrest perceived as heavy-handed. Over 200 Asian youths clashed with authorities. So, little tinderbox burning, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And I remember I was dating an anthropologist at the time. We were talking about these riots, and he said, well, it's the classic story. It happens with the black population to some extent in the 80s when those riots kick off across the country, and it happens with the Asian populations 20 years later, which kind of marrows the patterns of immigration that have come into Britain.
I see.
And basically, as is usual, immigrants tend to get put into shitty housing in poor areas because the white people move out into the suburbs. So eventually populations become ghettoised through various processes. And this guy I was dating said, well, if you piss people off enough, then they're going to rise up and revolt about it. And I thought, fucking hell, he's not wrong, And the same complaints which were coming from these Asian people rioting in 2001 was pretty much the same complaints coming from the black people rioting in the 80s,
Yeah, it does make me fear for what's happening at the moment. If you push people too far, then there's going to be a kickback eventually, isn't there?
There is,
at which the political parties of right-leaning will jump on.
Absolutely.
And it will just fuel this hideous fascistic fire that's erupting in the UK at the moment, sadly.
And of which there doesn't seem to be any rational voices pushing back against it loud enough. And we've said many times before, the vocal minority is a really powerful force.
Especially with social media now.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because I genuinely think most people in this country are not far-right leaning. They want everybody to have a nice time and they're generally nice people, but it's only this minority echo chamber which gets amplified and heard. Yeah. God, it's depressing, isn't it?
It is depressing.
On the 2nd of July, Barry George was given a life sentence for the murder of TV presenter Jill Dando, a case that shocked the nation. Never solved, is it?
Why are you smiling?
I'm not smiling. I don't know what it is. Every time we mention Jill Dando, we can't stop. It's really awful.
It's awful.
It's really bad. Because that poor woman, we still don't know who shot her.
No.
He's really... Stop it.
I'm not doing anything.
Crash on. Like, clearly not old enough and mature enough to
We are the problematic gays after all. Yeah. Come on.
This is our most problematic.
Also, talking about laughing at inappropriate things, which we'll be coming on to a lot later when we talk about The Office.
Yes, we will.
Anyway, on the 19th of July, a former politician and novelist, Jeffrey Archer, I don't know why I'm laughing at Jeffrey Archer. Jeffrey Archer received a 4-year prison sentence for perjury and perverting the course of justice and being an all-round unpleasant person.
Nice man.
Yeah, I went through a little Jeffrey Archer novel reading stage.
So did I. I think it's like one of those ones like Agatha Christie, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like and Jilly Cooper.
Yes.
It's like in the 80s, that's what we did, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jackie Collins for the mucky bits.
Jackie Collins, and flick through them mucky bits. So,
Flick through what?
Flick through the mucky bits, yeah. On the 20th of July, back in the summer, rioting erupts in Brixton, this time following the fatal shooting of Derek Bennett by armed police. Bennett was a paranoid schizophrenic patient. He was actually not on an upward curve at that point with his mental health, but was carrying a cigarette lighter that looks like a gun, and he shot. 27 people were arrested and 3 officers were injured during the clashes. And that's another tinderbox, isn't it? If a black man gets shot by police these days, you see the arguments erupt on social media immediately. Yeah. He must have been wrong, and and I live in Streatham in South London, and just after I moved in, a black guy was shot a couple of streets down. I mean, not immediate in the vicinity, but in the area. And within seconds, in the newspapers, it was a white guy saying there was a police chase and such happened, which turned out to be completely false. And that was on News Online within minutes of the thing happening. And I thought, where's that story come from? Yeah. Who is dishing that story out? Who's making it? Who's making it
forming
murky?
That narrative?
Yeah. And it was all just a little bit.
Yes.
But here we are.
Somebody sat some bot somewhere, probably in Russia.
Yeah.
It all seems to stem back to.
Stirring it all up.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so that was quite heavy and deep. And finally, some good news. On the 17th of September, the Gateshead Millennium Bridge is opened. The iconic tilt bridge for pedestrians and cyclists across the River Tyne became a contemporary landmark and a symbol of regeneration in the North East England.
Yeah.
About one of the only symbols of regeneration in the North East England. Now, I'm not having a dig, because I'm from the North East of England. All I'm just saying
You're not North East, you're from the Yorkshire. That's northern.
North. Well, we're all North when we live down South, aren't we?
Yes,
we all have to join together. It's like Game of Thrones.
We northern.
It's like Game of Thrones. All I'm saying is, you can promote regeneration in the North East England as much as you want, but we all know there's still this divide and there's not enough money being invested up north.
Totally. Because again, the noughties is that kind of time of positivity, isn't it? There seems to be money around. People are a lot happier. We get the Angel of the North.
Yeah.
Another...
But these are just symbols.
They are symbols.
I mean, whenever I go back up north, I just walk down the high street and see all these shops boarded up.
It's true. Yeah.
And it's just a bit shit.
It's grim, isn't it?
Not the north in general, but just it's really shit to see what's happened to my hometown.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a nice, fluffy piece.
Oh, yeah, I thought...
Round off the news desk.
A kitten was rescued from a tree in Shropshire. There we go. That'll do. Should we have a look at what was on the telly in 2001, some of the events of the year?
Let's do it.
As well as The Office beginning this year, Pop Stars also premieres. This is a singing talent show broadcast on ITV in January. The show produces instant pop sensations Hearsay. The show also acts as a precursor to Pop Idol and later formats like The X Factor. I loved Pop Stars.
I don't think I saw it.
Oh, we were totally swept up in it. I went to
Really?
a do. Yeah. Kate, my journalist flatmate, we got invited to the reveal of the single and we got to a do. And I think that's where I met June Whitfield there as well, randomly.
You met June Whitfield?
Yeah.
I've met June Whitfield.
Yeah.
Oh, I've worked with her.
No, of course you have.
And I've worked with Kim Marsh. Claims to fame, just kind of lobbed over.
Anyway.
Okay, Goodness Gracious Me launched on the 12th of November with heavy initial promotion, becoming a hit sketch show that moved from BBC Two to BBC One. The show was groundbreaking in its exploration of Asian culture, starring Nina Wadia, who I've also
You've also worked with, yeah.
Sorry, this is going to get really irritating.
I've met
I
her.
only do it to wind Leo.
Yeah, he does. And it does very successfully, I may add. But also, what a great groundbreaking show. You know, these were these Asian characters reclaiming the kind of tropes of racist comedy in some ways.
Everyone remembers the sketch, not everyone, but some people remember the sketch where they went for an English.
Yes.
It was a kind of a take on white people going for an Indian and the stereotypes and ignorances that are projected there. So that was funny.
Yeah, it was. Big Brother Series 2 runs from the 25th of May to the 27th of July, getting an average audience of 4.5 million and peaking at a massive 13.7 million viewers for the final, becoming Channel 4's second most watched show. And the lovely Brian Dowling wins and quickly becomes a star.
Yes.
For a while.
Hi, Brian. Come on the pod.
Come on the pod. We love you, Brian.
We do love you, Brian. He was great, wasn't he? And it was
Brian,
nice to see a gay guy who was loved just for being himself.
Yes, and really cut through.
Yes, a lot of
all the kind of homophobia. And again, this is, the noughties, there's a sense of, we've sorted homophobia, we're sorting out racism, we're sorting out, all of the isms and every phobias you've got. And Brian seemed to be an exemplar of the tide turning.
And it's easy to underestimate the impact somebody like that has, who normalises things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then he went on to present Big Brother.
He did,
for a while.
Yeah. Dropped unceremoniously by all accounts.
He was, wasn't he? Very bitter.
Don't blame him, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. That's a fickle world of show business.
Exactly. 1 minute you're working with Dave, the next week, nothing. Working in Asda. Yeah.
Exactly. Stars in Their Eyes continued to captivate audiences, with Emma Wilkinson winning the adult version on the 14th of July when she appeared as Dusty Springfield.
Saint Dusty. This is probably about the time that I sent my audition tape into Stars in Their Eyes.
Oh, yeah. What did you go as?
Barry Gibb.
Yeah.
Singing Tragedy. And when I say singing...
Was it a tragedy?
That's all I'm going to give you.
I always thought I'd make a good Morrissey.
Yes, you're both miserable. Yeah.
My nose is running. It's all that cocaine.
All that.
Oh, hang on.
Has anyone seen Charlie? Is that better, darling?
It's fine. I've actually had a squirt of my thingy up my nose because I was a bit bunged up.
Yes, you were. Yeah. EastEnders thrills nearly 20 million viewers on the 5th of April with the resolution of the Who Shot Phil Mitchell mystery, when it's revealed that Lisa Shaw was the shooter in the most watched episode of the decade. I loved EastEnders
Huge.
at this point.
Yeah, really huge. And also what was really nice about the soaps in general at this time was that if they had a secret, they could keep it.
Yeah.
Where it's increasingly difficult to do that now. Or as a way of hooking people in, they kind of reveal things already. Or they have to shoot things last minute, the day before to make sure it
close
doesn't get
set,
leaked.
all that kind of stuff.
Close set.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was a big surprise when it was revealed to be Lisa. I remember that. It was great.
What's the actress called again?
Lucy Benjamin.
I've got a soft spot for Lucy Benjamin. You know, she's in Doctor Who as a child.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, her and another unnamed little girl actress. She plays Anissa, and there's a scene where Tegan and Nissa, the Doctor's companions, they reverse, they de-age. They're aged up first of all, so they get this horrible makeup on, and then they're sent back to kids and Lucy Benjamin's. Doctor, help us, Doctor, help us.
And that's Lucy Benjamin.
That's Lucy Benjamin.
Oh.
She's quite proud of it, I think.
That's nice.
You worked with her, haven't you?
Yeah.
Of course you have.
Okay, is it me next?
It's you.
Okay, March saw the return of Crossroads after 13 years, though the reception quickly soured due to muddled plot lines.
Yeah, I mean...
It just fell flat as a fart.
It really did.
Yeah.
It really
it had
did.
Jane Asher in it, didn't it? And I think at the end it was all revealed to be a hideous dream. And
Was it?
Jane Asher was a checkout lady. So
Really?
she was this glamorous hotel boss owner, but then it all turned into a kind of like Bobby's shower scene dream.
Right, gosh.
She just went on a checkout.
Wow. I'd quite like to see that, actually. Yeah.
On
Well, not the
YouTube.
rest of it, yeah. We'll watch that. In March, Anne Robinson appears on the Room 101 series and controversially elects to put the country of Wales in Room 101. Speaks volumes about English superiority, which we've talked about many times on here. Wales is yet to have its cultural renaissance. We talked about the Cardiff Bay Barrage, but Wales will come into its own very soon. But, I mean, we love Anne, but really, it's a bit stupid. A bit silly. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Is it me?
Yes, it's you.
Okay. Where I am today. It's all that nasal decongestion that's gone to my head. Okay, BBC One added a 4th weekly episode of EastEnders, starting the 10th of August, igniting a direct soap face-off. Direct soap face-off.
Yeah.
So it sounds very dramatic, doesn't it?
I wonder if it was an episode too much for me at this point, and I just couldn't keep up with it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, there is a debate for that. And actually, Coronation Street and Emmerdale are reeling back the number of episodes.
Oh, no, well,
because at the moment, it's kind of, for Corrie, at the moment, it's like 3 1-hour episodes a week. And it's just too much.
Oh, my God.
And also, they're struggling to fill them with storylines. So they're increasingly injecting a youth-oriented storylines to kind of drag in the new generation.
Not going to work.
But at the expense of the really beautiful character-driven episodes with the older characters, the established ones that people know and love. So there's a big argument to say that it's not the programme it once was.
Right.
And for them to kind of reel back to 5 half-hour episodes a week, it's going to kind of lead back to its original format, which is, I mean, it's a cost-cutting exercise because the soaps are kind of, especially on the commercial channels, are in trouble because there's just no money in advertising anymore.
Yeah.
But obviously, increasingly, you have to pay the crew, you have to pay the cast.
Yeah.
If you've got a massive 70-strong cast, that's a
lot of people on payroll.
Yeah, if you cut the amount of episodes by a 5th or a 6th, I can't remember which one it is, but that's a huge saving.
Yes. Yeah. Speaking of soaps, did you see this week that Hollyoaks is doing a crossover with Brookside?
Yeah, that's
and
nice.
Sheila Grant's coming back.
I know, I couldn't believe that. I just thought it might just fall a little bit flat to far, but when Sue Johnston's coming back into it, that's a big coup, isn't it? Shall we look at the chart?
Yes, let's do it. This is the charts for the week beginning, the 29th of July 2001. I'm quietly confident I'm going to a lot of these.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it might be quite R&B dominated, as a lot of it seemed to be at this point.
Well, let's have a look, shall we?
I'll probably completely proved wrong.
Okay. Number 20, Meet Her at the Love Parade, 2001 by Dahul.
Number 19, Stone by Stone by Catatonia. This is new in at 19 and it peaks at 19.
Faith Hill's at number 18 with There You'll Be.
17, Do the Lollipop by the Tweenies. Tweenies passed me by, obviously.
Clearly me as well. Number 16, Shaggy featuring Rayvon, are there with Angel.
That was a cover.
My confidence is quickly diminishing.
Okay. Number 15,
actually.
Usher, You Remind Me. I remember that one. I reminded myself of that one.
Did you? Very good.
Yeah.
Number 14, Wheatus with A Little Respect. Is that an Erasure cover?
Yeah, good cover though,
Is
actually.
it?
Yeah. 13, Elevation, U2. Sorry, any U2 fans out there.
Just not bothered. And number 12, Dance For Me by Cisco.
Did he do the thong song?
Yes, he did.
Right, okay. This might be his little follow-up. Okay, number 11, Another Chance, Roger Sanchez. That's a classic. Banger.
Yeah. We know that one.
Yeah.
Number 10, Lady Marmalade, Christina Aguilera, Lil Kim, Maya and Pink.
Yeah.
I loved that one. We did that
Very
many
good.
times on a Friday evening in our...
Did you?
Yes, we did.
Have you seen the making of video?
No.
It's all about them not getting their hair right and who's going to be last on set. It's all pitting all these 4 women against each other, basically.
Yeah. Although the very last shot, when it's all 4 of them, who's got the feather in the hair? Is it... Anyway, the very last shot is she flicks her head back and the feather in her hair basically obscures the face of whoever's behind her. I thought she's got that right in at the end. She's been holding on to that.
Number 9, Firewire, Cosmic Gate. No.
Number 8, Heaven is a Half Pipe, OPM. I know the song, but...
Yeah. Number 7, Perfect Gentleman, Wycliffe Jean.
Number 6, Castles in the Sky, Ian Van Dahl. I almost feel a gun coming on when we talk about Castles in the Sky, yeah.
Number 5, Purple Pills by D12. Now, I feel like I should know that song, but I can't remember it offhand.
Had a couple of them in my time, darling. Number 4, All or Nothing, O-Town. Not doing very well with this at all, are we?
Number 3, Eternity / The Road to Mandalay, Robbie Williams. Don't know
Last
that
night,
one,
I dreamt I went to Mandalay again. I don't know that one.
You've got a look at Mrs. Danvers about you.
Actually, I don't mind that, because I thought she was really cool.
Yeah, she was.
The mistress used to wear her underwear in here. Look at her lovely silk knickers. Do you like them? Do you like them?
You do that far too well.
She's a legend. Number 2, classic, Bootylicious, Destiny's Child. I mean, classic. Come on, you can't argue with that. Bootylicious. Yeah. Where do they call you that, Dave? Are they here in the room with you now? Yes, they are. What's that? Bootylicious. Yes, thank you.
Number 1, please.
Number 1. You do it.
Eternal Flame, Atomic Kitten.
Great song.
It's No Hole Again.
It's not. It's No Hole Again, is it? Do you remember when they did The Tide is High?
Yeah.
I remember I'd reached a stage in my life at that point because I heard some kids singing The Tide is High, and I heard myself saying, it's not as good as the original. I went, oh, God, I got to that age. It's happened. I wasn't able to stop it. It's just happened around me. I didn't fucking realise. Yeah.
So we went to an engagement party last night, me and my hubby, Harry and Emily. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And Jonathan was talking to Emily, and Emily obviously got herself all nice and clammed up and everything. She looked absolutely stunning. Very lovely. And Jonathan said to her, you remind me of Sue Ellen from Dallas. And she said, who?
Yeah.
And he went,
Did he then did he then try and explain it?
Yeah, Dallas.
To the 23-year-old girl who's never...
And she's like, what's that?
Mum, there's an old man talking about Dallas.
Just back away from the bride-to-be slowly.
Stop talking.
Yeah.
Stop talking. All right, Corporate Colin, why don't you give us some information about The Office?
The Office is a British mockumentary television sitcom first broadcast in the UK on BBC Two on the 9th of July 2001. Created, written and directed by Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant, it follows the day-to-day lives of office employees in the Slough branch of the fictional Wernham Hogg Paper Company. Gervais also starred in the series as the central character, David Brent. 2 6-episode series were made, followed by a 2-part Christmas special. The show centres on themes of social clumsiness, the trivialities of human behaviour, self-importance and conceit, frustration, desperation and fame. The Office is considered to be one of the best shows of the 21st century and one of the best sitcoms of all time.
Discuss. Well, this episode is called Training. It's episode 4 of series 1, and it's staff development Even just the term staff training is just enough to fill me with PTSD. It's staff development training day at Wernham Hogg, but the day is constantly derailed by office manager David Brent, who can't bear not being the centre of attention. When he gets his guitar out, it's pretty much game over. And his behaviour frustrates both the trainer and the employees who just want to get through the day. Meanwhile, Tim's feelings for Dawn continue to simmer beneath the surface, while Gareth's hero worship of David Brent remains unabashed. There's a whole lot of cringe going on.
A whole lot of cringe
really
going on.
isn't there? Speaking of cringe, I thought it'd be quite fun just to have a little side swerve into talking about cringe comedy, of which this is often held up as an exemplar. And cringe comedy exploits the gap between how characters see themselves and how others see them. Interestingly, the UK has really led the way in terms of cringe comedy, possibly because, this is quite interesting, it's often rooted in status anxiety, embarrassment and failed attempts at maintaining dignity, which strikes me as a very British outlook. Fawlty Towers.
Yes.
Although I wouldn't classically consider it as a cringe comedy, could be seen as kind of like a forerunner.
Yeah, well, you cringe with Basil, don't you?
You do, you absolutely do. But you and his social blunders, his faux pas, and the disparity between how he sees himself and actually how everybody else sees him. Then we can jump forward to Alan Partridge. And it's possibly one of the first archetypal cringe characters because nobody get you to cringe like Alan Partridge, can he? Peep Show. is often held up as an example. The characters are awkward, self-absorbed, and the humour often comes from how badly they misjudge social situations. We've talked about Nighty Night before.
Yes.
Now, I mean, that's your classic cringe, isn't it? That's
really
very
is.
dark.
Makes you feel very uncomfortable.
Yes. Inappropriate behaviour on the part of Jill. The In-Betweeners is held up as socially, sexually awkward characters again. And more recent entries like This Country with Kerry and Curtin Mucklow. And again, using faux documentary style.
It's a very similar style to The Office, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That before.
Yeah. And that faux documentary style draws the viewer in more, which is what The Office does so successfully.
It's kind of fly on the wall, really, isn't it? As well.
Absolutely. And I guess The Office starts cringe comedy as the way we know it today. So we've got Basil Fawlty, that's very traditional sitcom, studio audience. You know, Alan Partridge comes from a radio show, but this is the one I think which really kind of kickstarts it. So what are your thoughts on this episode?
First and foremost, as you're talking about office training sessions, day long.
Oh
might
my God.
take a day, but it feels like to stretch for a whole week.
Yeah.
And the whole having to talk about yourself in front of a bunch of all your colleagues. It always just seems just very facile and, if that's the right word, tiresome, boring, embarrassing, and also the tasks they make you do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's several in here, isn't there? There's role play, motivation exercises, and I think really encapsulate it really well.
Yes.
The tedium of it, but also just the office in general, the tedium of working in an office. We've all done jobs. There's a character called Keith, isn't there? Who's the kind of like the large gentleman.
Yes.
He's always in the background. He's always eating. He's always making really wry quips.
Yes.
And they say, what's your motivation for working here? You know, what do you enjoy working about here? And he says basically, and we've all been through this, he says, it's a stopgap. It's not difficult. I don't take my work home with me. It's pretty brainless. I've got other dreams to do. I want to write music. When you kind of have these temporary jobs in these offices, it's always a little bit of a stopgap. Not for everybody. I mean, people are very happy to work in office environment for their whole lives.
Yeah.
But I know that I'm not one of them, and I know that you're not one of them either, but we've all had to have those temporary jobs.
Yes.
I remember working for Royal Mail Customer Services prior to getting a job in a theatre in Paris. I had to endure 3 months of working for Royal Mail Customer Services with our irate customers ringing up going, I posted a letter in Edinburgh for London 3 days ago. Where is it? That kind of vibe.
God.
And I'll always remember this woman rang up. She was frantic. She was like, I'm going on holiday tomorrow and I need to get my passport renewed or something like that, or I need to get it stamped or something. So you kind of like say, oh, where's your nearest post office? And sent her on her way. She called back. She went, that post office is shut down. You've ruined my holiday and all that. And you just want to say to her, I didn't fucking ruin your holiday. Why don't you check your bloody passport 3 months ago when you booked it?
Yes.
Just that tedium and that embarrassment of going to work every day just thinking, I hate this.
Yeah.
I hate this. There's got to be something better to life than this. And that's the sense we get from this, isn't it?
It taps into that really well, to that kind of stultifying atmosphere of just... There's nothing sexy about this office, is there? They're a paper distribution company. You know, it's just like, and you can tell that David Brent and Gareth are the only two who really want to be there. Gareth because Mackenzie Crook, because clearly he's got nothing else going on. And David Brent, who's just a big fish in a very small pond, but thinks he's at the top.
This is his kingdom.
His kingdom. And we've all met office managers like that. I haven't really ever worked in an office environment like this, not this corporate. You know, I remember saying to an ex back in 96, 97, he said to me, what would you do if you had to work in a place where you had to wear smart casual? Yeah, and chinos. You know, I've never ever had to do it because I think it would just. And even though I've never worked in this type of environment, I still got PTSD watching this because I just imagine having to.
Yeah,
you know, and that's not again to a detriment, but this show deliberately plays on the dull, anodyne, repetitive. Just the only way to get through this is to either have little fledgling office relationships, you know, or there's gossip,
or if you find a kindred spirit there who shares the similar let's get the fuck out of here kind of vibe, and you know you can attach yourself to them. It did remind me of when after I went to university I got a job in a bank, and I hated it. It was tedious. It was kind of like just peddling misery, sell them a credit card, and then when they get into debt on that, then sell them a personal loan to get them out of the debt of the credit card. And I was no good at it because I just didn't enjoy it, and it reminded me very much of this environment. And I always remember a manager coming up to me and he said, "You work really hard, Dave, and in 10 years' time you could be sat where I'm sat." And I looked over at the office and the desk was 10 feet away.
Yeah.
But I really thank him for saying that, because that was the motivation I needed to say, "This isn't for me." And that's what motivated me to kind of get on the career ladder that I got on, which is very much, working on TV sets and directing and things. It was very much a catalyst for me to go, actually, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And that's very different to this corporate, anodyne, sterile environment.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about David Brent himself?
Yeah. Where do you begin? He is a deeply problematic individual watching it today.
Yeah.
But actually what I thought is similar to Alf Garnett is that the joke is always on him.
Yeah.
And he looks like a small-minded beta male who is intrinsically pathetic and has an air of tragedy, but is so self-absorbed and so convinced in his magnificence and his talent and his appeal and his charisma. He's better Donald Trump. But he's deeply hideous.
He's a grotesque, isn't he?
He's a grotesque.
He's a grotesque character.
He's a grotesque.
Played magnificently
Absolutely.
by Ricky Gervais.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think it's one of the all-time greatest comedy performances, this guy.
Yeah.
Because he just makes you... But you love him.
Yeah.
Ricky Gervais just gives him so much appeal. He's mesmerising. You can't take your eyes off him.
Yeah.
And you're laughing at him. But at the same time, well, for me anyway, this guy is so tragic, but he means so well.
Does he though?
But he doesn't. But there's a scene where he's talking about, this training day is about kind of looking after your staff and working together as a team and recognising everyone's strengths. And Dawn's devastated, crying in the background, and he watches her go off crying, and he just carries on with what he's saying.
Yeah,
I think his intentions are good. But
I don't.
Really?
Yeah,
I think we've got conflict.
All his intentions are just about making himself look better. He's never interested in anybody else, I don't think. So I'm not getting any sympathy for David.
Fine.
He just makes me...
I've got sympathy for him because I think fundamentally, the way Ricky Gervais plays it, it's like, he is egomaniac. There is a lot of one-upmanship there, but I think underneath it all, and you see little glints of it through the series, it's all kind of stemmed in insecurity. You do see little glimpses of that.
Oh,
but it's
totally, yeah.
And it's all about this threat, his masculinity being threatened.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He's a real beta male.
Yeah, he really is.
And he's threatened by the most innocuous, because the guy who comes in to do the training is as wet as a flannel.
Yeah, Rowan.
Yes, but Brent is clearly threatened by him because this is the guy leading him. So he's a bit like Scrappy Doo. He's constantly trying to make himself look better to the detriment of what this guy's trying to say. The training day, everyone else. I really loved the constant shots you got of people just sitting like that.
Like zombies.
Always been to.
It was like Shaun of the Dead, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you're given your pad and your pencil at the start, and people just doodling and just but back to David Brent. I think he's only out for himself. Why did he fucking get his guitar out and start to...
Oh, absolutely. But it's all just stems from wanting to be loved.
Yes.
I'd like to delve into David Brent's past to see what
hurt
shaped him, what hurt him.
Yeah, Texas hurt him, clearly.
Texas, yeah.
So the sequence where he does get his guitar out in the training and starts to do some of his original material, and it transpires that he used to be the lead singer-songwriter in a group.
Foregone conclusion.
Yes, is that what it's called? They're called
just like creme brulee in the League of Gentlemen, isn't it?
It really, really is. There's a lot of creme brulee vibes. And that Texas were the support act.
Yes.
Yeah. And now, of course, Texas are a huge act, so he cannot handle this at all. And I thought there's a lot of bitterness there in that character.
Yeah.
And at some level, he clearly knows that he's a big fish in a very small pond. Yeah. And the kingdom he has is pathetic. It's a paper distribution factory in Slough. So, you know, at some level there's got to be. So he's constantly trying to reassert how great he is by behaviours like this.
Yeah.
You know?
And he's got a little minion, hasn't he, Gareth?
Yes, Gareth adores him.
Yeah,
clearly.
He's the office SWAT, isn't he?
Yes, yeah.
But clearly thick as a brick.
And Gareth, you know, Gareth lays bare the tragedy of this whole thing when Dawn is talking about getting another job, and he's like, well, why do you want to get another job? You know, in 10 years you could be like this guy you said to you, that you could be sitting at this desk instead. You know, Gareth cannot see anything, and clearly Hero worships David Brent, who of course loves the fact that he's got this minion. So Gareth is propping up his ego, you know.
So then we've got the Gareth's antagonist, Tim.
Yes.
Tim, I feel as though, is the character who's our window into this world a little bit, even though obviously it's very fly on the wall and we see it, but he's kind of the voice of reason.
Yes.
He is us watching, isn't
Martin
he?
Freeman.
Martin Freeman.
Another star-making turn.
Yeah.
He very much is. He's our voice. And him and Dawn are having a thing, aren't they? That's the big thing that just gets resolved.
He plays it so understated, and so does... What's Dawn's name?
Oh, I can't remember.
Oh my God.
Jasper Carrot's daughter.
I know, that's all I know her as, isn't it?
Lucy Benjamin? No.
That's from EastEnders. Okay, research department.
Lucy Oliver?
Should be written down here.
You need to get a minion on the phone.
We'll cut this all out. Oh my God, that's so bad, isn't it? Lucy, if you're watching, come on the pod and tell us your surname.
Let's have a look. Lucy Davis.
Lucy Davis, of course it's Lucy Davis. Apologies, Lucy Davis.
Yeah.
They both underplay it so well, their little love story.
Yes.
It's so sweet.
Yeah.
And we're rooting for them all the way through these series. Then obviously the big denouement where they run off into the sunset together eventually.
Yeah.
And the guy who plays Lee as well, Lee is Dawn's boyfriend, fiance. And he's an arsehole, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's very dull.
Really
he's
dull.
Just, he's a chauvinist. Treats Dawn like shit.
Yes.
And we're rooting for Tim to run off with Dawn and everything. And I think Tim he's just stultified. He just can't take this corporate training session any longer. And he goes, do you know what? Fuck it. I quit.
Yes.
I'm off.
And who's wanted to do that when you work somewhere like that?
Oh,
We've all
absolutely.
wanted to do it, haven't we?
I cheered at that point. He was like, it's finally. And then he comes in and asks Dawn if he'll go with him for a little drink. And Dawn's like, I've made up with my boyfriend now. And you can see his little heart breaking.
Yeah.
And it's so sweet. So amongst all this heightened comedy, David Brent being an absolute monster and hilariously funny, you've got this sweet little love story.
Yes.
You know, I just think that's just so well written.
Yeah.
It just makes you laugh out loud, then it breaks your heart at the
Yes,
same
it
time.
does. Yeah,
That's the essence of brilliant script writing, that for me.
Can we talk about the training video they have to watch?
It's called Who Cares Wins.
Yes. And Rowan does preface it by saying it's a bit 80s, it's a little bit dated, and who should appear as the host but the legend that is Peter Purvis. Lovely man.
Yes.
Have you worked with
Blue
him?
Peter fame and...
Doctor Who fame.
No, but I've worked with his son a lot, who's a production manager.
That's right, that's fine. Yes.
Hello, Matthew.
Hello, Peter, actually, because he's a nice bloke. He's a very nice bloke. Many Doctor Who conventions.
Yeah.
But the video is so great, isn't it? We've all seen those kind of low-budget film, you know, the secretary behind the desk chatting on the phone.
Yeah.
Customer comes in, says, I'm a customer and I'd like some attention, please. You know, that kind of vibe, you know. Really good fun, really good pastiche of all those videos that we've seen. And just
so well shot.
Really,
so well shot.
yeah.
That was great. So, yes, Peter Purvis was brilliant. And I want to talk about the jokes.
Yes.
Now, as I said before, you heard me guffawing upstairs.
Yes.
There was a joke about rape.
Yes.
And there was a joke about lesbian sex.
Yes.
Now,
Context
is everything in this
Yeah.
joke. So there's a scenario where Rowan, who's the trainer, and David Brent have a role play.
Yeah.
And Rowan's saying, okay, I'm going to be the hotel manager and you're going to be a customer with a complaint.
Yes.
Scenario kind of thing.
Yeah.
And David Brent's trying to get through to Rowan and trying to break him, trying to win the argument, so to speak. And he says, I think there's been a rape upstairs.
Yes, in order to shut down Rowan, and in order to put David Brent as the top dog.
Exactly.
He resorts to using rape as a joke.
So it's not a joke about rape.
Yes, yeah.
It's a joke about David Brent
using rape.
Rape.
And this is one of the criticisms levelled at the show, is actually the humour that's employed by the characters can be seen as explicitly offensive, you know, and it on paper This is
It
explicitly
is.
offensive.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is where the Alf Garnett effect comes in, you see,
Yes.
because it just makes David Brent look more of a dick.
Yes.
You know, absolutely.
They're
make
all
more of a
designed
dick.
to
Yeah.
highlight the grotesqueness of this character.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And often it's the case with satire, it can be taken as just gospel, that
Yeah.
this is supposed to be funny, and this is one of the criticisms levelled at this show. But I always thought, like, it's like later on when Gareth, they have to do this exercise of getting a chicken, a fox and some seeds across a river. Gareth makes a joke about, well, the farmer shouldn't be left with the fox because he's gay or something like that, you know, and equating gayness
Sounds a
with
bit gay.
bestiality.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, it makes Gareth look like a twat, as opposed to the joke being, oh, gay boys like to fuck animals.
And also the
you know.
lesbian joke, which is they ask at some point, what are your dreams, what are your ultimate fantasies? And then Gareth comes in a bit late into the room and they say, what are your fantasies? And he says,
Yes.
two lesbians.
Yeah.
It's highlighting Gareth's stupidity,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
And social ineptness.
Yes, but we can see again how it could be perceived as problematic because, as we've said, satire often can be problematic if it's taken out of context, you know.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. Context is everything. And then I think these days people are just really quick to jump and interpret something as being offensive when actually what it highlighting a person's ignorance rather than being an offensive joke.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Again, with social media, that you can get an immediate pile-on. And I think Ricky Gervais has said it might not get made today, but so what? Because I've already had my paycheck from it.
Yes, pretty much. I mean, he has said some other quite unfortunate things.
Yes, he has. I mean, it's
Like,
been quite problematic or questionable in recent
yes,
years.
yeah.
But that's because I think people's tastes change, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
But then if you look back at this show in the context of it being in the year 2000,
Yeah.
I enjoyed the jokes. I thought that I just thought it was great.
Yeah. I mean, and let's face it, this show is, the jokes within it are at the expense of all the characters in the show. You could argue that David Brent and Gareth do get a little bit of a bullying vibe occasionally, Nowadays, 24 years later, workplace harassment is very much a thing. Diversity, very much a thing in offices. Microaggressions are something that will not be tolerated now. But these were currency, and I mean, we've all worked in an office where there's been that person who's been we've all done that, and that wouldn't be tolerated now. And as is the want of this podcast, that is problematic if you want to view it within that lens.
Yes.
But when the time this was made, it wasn't.
Yeah.
And I think that as long as the humour is being deployed in a way that highlights the grotesquerie of those characters or the stupidity or the ignorance, which is what the writer's original intentions were, then fair enough. But I can see why on paper some people view it as problematic.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
for sure, there are problematic, you could say, triggering elements these days for some people. If you've ever been a victim of workplace bullying, which I was back in the 2001, and it's horrific. There was some of this stuff which was, a little bit close to the bone.
Yeah.
But other problems we could look at is that the office is very white and male-dominated, but as was most places in those days. And the office I worked in with banter. Banter's always a thing that gets thrown around, especially in male-dominated spaces, And I've worked in offices where banter could be a thing. And Jesus Christ, some of the stuff that was said about my being gay, in 1999, 2000, you would absolutely not say today or be allowed to say it. And at the time, I kind of laughed along with it. But looking back, it's like, fucking hell, that's proper dodgy, actually.
And when that happens these days, it's really highlighted. It really sticks out.
Yeah.
I don't think I would last 2 minutes in an office environment these days.
No, me. God, no, me. Absolutely no, me. I just run out screaming.
Well, also, I think I'd probably say something hugely inappropriate without realising that I'd done it.
Yeah.
Which, a lot of people say that, don't they?
You call somebody love or darling, and that's it, you're done.
Well, God, in the industry I work in, everyone's darling.
Darling. But I think that's the industry you're allowed to
just,
in.
You meet so many people you can't remember everybody's names, even though you've worked with them for 5 years.
Yeah. When I started teaching the undergrads, when I was doing my PhD, I had to really rein in the right, darlings.
Yeah.
It's like, it's really hard. Like Jolene and the Archers. Anyway, let's not. If you're not an Archers fan, that'll go straight over your head.
Yeah.
So, there are problematic elements. Like Alf Garnett, a lot of people will take David Brent's catchphrases and comments as gospel and use them and
face value,
them, without recognising the fact that actually he's a real twat. Do you want to be like him?
Yeah, but also people will take the words of David Brent or the words of this comedy and be offended by them without actually just looking
context
at
of. Yeah.
it actually means.
Yes.
The same way as Alf Garnett did.
Yes.
Yeah. Isn't it weird how we keep comparing it to Alf Garnett?
Well, I guess he's the kind of benchmark for that satire, which can often get taken as gospel.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
I guess he's the first one that does it. Really.
Yeah.
Everything about the last episode we talked about. That was the week that was. Satire is just becoming a thing in the early '60s and mid '60s, and Alf Garnett comes in '65, '66, I think. So it's a benchmark and a template. So yeah.
We have done an episode on Till Death Us Do Part with the character of Alf Garnett.
Please
Refer
do.
back to our back catalogue.
Because it's one of my favourites.
It's
what
great,
a surprise
actually.
it was.
Yeah,
that show.
It's stuff. You know, when we said we were going to do The Office, I thought, okay, it's only half an hour sitcom. I think, well, you know, we'll be done pretty soon. There's not a huge amount to talk to. But actually, looking back, there's been a lot deconstruct here, hasn't there?
Yes, there really
It's
has.
been a really interesting
Really has.
discussion.
Yes. So with that being said, what would you give it? What would you rate The Office?
I would rate The Office as 8 staplers in a plate of jelly out of 10.
I think I'd give it 8 branded corporate mugs out of 10 as well. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I
enjoyed
enjoyed it too.
Probably would have given it more had it not been so cringy. But that's the essence of it.
There are very few TV shows that intentionally make you feel that way.
Yeah.
It's not brave, obviously.
No.
That's a ridiculous thing to say,
No.
but it's quite interesting how they decided to use that take.
Yes.
And run with it.
Yeah.
I thought it's very entertaining, very
Yes.
of its time.
Very much of its time, yeah.
So with that being said, what are we going to be talking about next week?
Well, next week we are going to the mean streets of New York, because there we're going to meet 2 groundbreaking ladies of the New York Detective Department. One's called Cagney and one's called Lacey. Mary Beth and Christine. And we're going to do Cagney and Lacey. Copyright department.
Yeah,
Copyright
exactly.
department.
They were great.
Yeah. We're going to run through tube trains with our guns like this. We're going to go to doors and go, freeze!
Yeah.
You know, we're going to tell flashes.
Wearing nice kind of like all the fashions, the fluffy coats.
Yep, strolling down Fifth Avenue with our hands in our pockets.
I want to talk about it now, but can't.
We can't.
It's a big figure in our childhoods, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
One of the TV shows from across the pond
Yes.
that made a big splash in
Made
Dear
a
Old Blighty.
Big splash and mighty. So we look forward to that.
Yes.
In the meantime, please like and subscribe and love our socials like Podcast Gaze on TikTok and Instagram. Email us at theproblematicgaze@gmail.com. Like and subscribe our YouTube videos. Please tell all your friends, because we are an independent podcaster.
Do everything ourselves, and you're following us, subscribing us, liking us, and commenting really helps spread the word.
Really
Problematic
helps us.
Gaze.
So thank you.
Thank you. We love you.
Adore you. So until then, what are you going to be doing now, Dave?
Well, I'm going to fire up the overhead projector and get my slides ready for my next training session.
Right, I've got to sort out that jam on the photocopier on the second floor, because it is driving everybody insane. Until next week, au reservoir.
Au reservoir.